I can only speak from my personal experience. You're giving me a space to be expansive and not a soundbite, so I'm not going to give you a soundbite. I'm going to give you an in-depth observation.
Billy Porter, welcome to Etalk.
Thank you.
We have been waiting for you.
It's so exciting to be here.
And you look fierce and fabulous, as usual.
Thank you. Same to you.
Oh, thank you. You're known for speaking truth to power.
Yes.
And I feel like that's part of what's going on with this SAG-AFTRA strike. That's, at the core of it. So what is your take on this strike, and what needs to happen to resolve it?
I can only speak from my personal experience. And I'm gonna, you're giving me a space to be expansive and not a soundbite, so I'm not gonna give you a soundbite. I'm gonna give you an in-depth observation. So as actors, we are blue-collar, freelance workers. That's what we are across the board. Of 160,000 people in our union, 2% of us work. 0.2% are the ones that everybody uses as a template of what they think we all are. That is gone. That's all but dried up. That residual space has all but dried up for most of us because of streaming. And so the conversation is, we need to look at the business model again and adjust to what's happening now. Where it gets tricky is that the studios that we're negotiating with aren't interested in that. We have a problem with power capitalism at any cost. And my business manager said something to me the other day, and I want to be clear. He said, I think we're going about this wrong because it feels like it's an attack on capitalism. It feels like it's an attack on capitalism when I speak the truth that Bob Iger makes $78,000 a day and I'm getting 6-cent checks for the work that I've done for these companies. Yep. Right? They've created a plantation mentality and a plantation infrastructure so that we do all the work and they get all the dividends. That's not okay anymore. No. I'm not attacking capitalism. I'm attacking the people who don't allow me to participate in the same capitalism that they get to live. I'll change that language. I'm changing it today. Right? Yep. It's not about attacking capitalism. It's about you people at the top of the food chain are blocking me from making my $78,000 a day. And I'm not having that.
No, you're not.
So let's get this together.
Yeah.
We're the creative people. Y'all can't do it without us. And there's this thing, there's this really icky thing where people in positions of power these days feel like they don't need us. They need us. They need our hearts. They need our minds. They need our talents. They need our stories. They need our expertise. They need us. And where was everybody going during COVID? To us.
Absolutely.
And Toni Morrison said something that I think is so profound, and I live by this, and she says this is precisely the time when artists go to work. There's no time for fear. I'm paraphrasing, no time for fear, we speak, we write, we do language. This is how civilizations heal. The work we do heals civilizations. Let us get back to work.
It heals, it educates, it informs, it changes people's perspectives.
All of it, all of that.
Unifies us,
yes.
All of it, all of it. Thank you for that. You are an actor, but you're also a musician, a producer, a creator, just a renaissance talent.
Activist.
An activist. A preacher sometimes. Yes.
Sometimes.
But you put your producer hat on for the London production of A Strange Loop, and this September as well for Billy Strayhorn, Something to Live For, in your hometown of Pittsburgh.
Yes.
So what do you love about using your platform to highlight and promote queer creators, queer artists, and queer stories.
And Black people.
And Black people.
Too. Let me say that, because I'm Black first.
Yes.
Sometimes I have to make that distinction.
Same.
Remind the children. I started my production company last year. It's called Incognegro.
So good.
And one of the things that, our mission is to take up space, is to create space. When I started in this business, I was told by haters and allies alike that my queerness would be my liability. And it was for decades. And now it's my superpower. And now it's my responsibility to make sure that whatever doors I kick down, whatever trails I blaze, I bring folks with me. Like Kamala Harris said, Vice President Kamala Harris said, I might be the first, but I'm not gonna be the last.
Yeah.
And that is my goal, my purpose, my calling, my ministry.
So you're here for the launch of the Bow.
Yes.
So talk to us about what the Bow is and why was it so important for you to be involved?
So the Bow is the brainchild of my brilliant friend, Matthew McLaughlin. His vision is to create a space, the Bow, a streaming service that is not behind a paywall for young queer youth and content. It's like a content space. It's a social space. It really feels. I'm so drawn to it because it really feels like a old business model mixed with new technology, right? So that it will be driven through ad buys, in particular like that, in the old school way. However, it's set up online and it's accessible to the most vulnerable in our community to be able to connect with others, not only in Canada, but globally, is the hope.
Yeah. So important to find your tribe.
Yes, and the Bow also, the actual name comes from the end of the rainbow and the queer colors and the blah, 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 all of that.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
So you are the Bow's Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Advisor.
Yes.
So how do you see yourself in that role, helping the Bow to succeed?
Well, I feel like we're in discovery right now. We have this launch. We're raising the capital to sort of, create it. And I think my role will become clearer and evolve and expand as we move forward and as, the space reveals it to us.
And you being here and, telling the country, and it's all great, What's not great, the political climate and the attacks on LGBTQ plus people, and given all of that's going on, is there more urgency, is there more importance to create and promote queer-focused content?
The short answer is yes. The other thing that I will say is, as a gay Black man of a certain age, 53 years old, I'm grateful to have lived long enough to understand that this is a circle of life, and this too shall pass, and we always win. Love always wins, right? The change has already happened. That's why the pushback is so severe. Look at our history, look at everybody's history. Every time there's progress, there is a pushback. So fear not, is what I say. The change has already happened. Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
That part.
And we are the ones now who must stand in the gap to create the space for the LGBTQ plus generation behind us.
I know we kind of touched upon this, Billy, but how do we ensure that queer creativity continues to get its due?
What we're doing. We keep showing up and we keep taking up space. There's a silencing, an inherent silencing in the power structure that can be very loud sometimes and can make us feel like it's not okay to speak. It's not okay to take up space. It's not okay to demand our rights, to lead with our humanity. We're all human beings first. It's time to stop legislating each other's humanity and go to work. That's what we're here. That's what the Bow is about. That's why I love it so much. You know, that's really why I'm like, you know, here in Canada for this launch. And I'm really excited about not only what this model can be launching here in Canada, but then expanding all over the world.
Yeah. Globally.
Yes.
Globally.
It has global reach to me. It has legs that have global reach.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like you and your legacy and your art and your fashion, Billy Porter. Your fashion. Your fashion. Sorry. Your fashion. Your fashion. So talk to me. This Billy Porter fashion train, I mean, it just never stops choo-chooing. You know what I mean? It choo, 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 choo. How do you go from idea to red carpet to literally changing the conversation?
I have to say it all came to fruition when I stopped caring about what anybody else thought and I really excavated my truth. I've always been a fashion person. I grew up in the Black Pentecostal church. The Black church, you know, has always been a fashion show. I've also never had any fear about trying new things. It's just been a part of me the whole time. And so, you know, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort for me because it's authentic. I'm just coming from an authentic place. I work with Ty Hunter and other stylists as well. And we just, you know, they bring me stuff. I look at it. We have, you know, business meetings or creative meetings. And, you know, that's what we do. It's fun. I love it. It's fun. I think that's what people feel, is that it is so much joy. It brings me joy.
And it's inspirational.
Oh,
it really
good.
is.
Thank
It really
you.
is. And even
and activism. Because,
yes.
you know, the point is, the first impression is what you look like.
Everything.
So lead with your best.
Even with all that going on, you're still giving us jams and bops and hits. Okay,
Yes.
so you dropped Baby Was a Dancer in March, Fashion in May, Broke a Sweat in July.
Yes.
I'm like,
and I was on a concert tour in May, 25 cities in North America.
And what keeps you inspired musically?
Wow, that question caught me off guard. I'm inspired by the fearless ones. You know, I'm a bit old school, and I love it when the artists truly speak from their heart and aren't afraid of anything. You know, I speak right now in terms of like the protest music that I grew up with. You know, I miss that. I miss music is the universal language. Music brings the people together, and how it was so galvanizing. Music can be so galvanizing, emotionally and spiritually and activist-wise. And so I want to sort of revisit that. I like it when I feel that, and that kind of work inspires me.
I'm inspired by the title of your album.
Yes.
The Black Mona Lisa, which I read was going to be an entirely dance album.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to open it up a little bit?
So initially, the album and idea that I had in my mind ended up being what Beyonce just did with Renaissance.
Okay.
Like, that was the original idea. Blessedly, as we got into production, while that was the base, the disco, the house, the community, deep soul, deep house, we started writing from me for the first time. You know, I was in this mainstream space creating pop music from my perspective, from my heart, from my mind. And as a result, it required the music, the genres to expand and not just be one thing. I'm blessed because now I don't have to compete with Beyonce. I'm on my own lane.
But that just makes sense because you are so much more than one thing.
Yeah,
it
makes sense, and it's more than one thing. And there are lots of styles. There's the dance style, there's the house style, there's a straight down the middle pop style, there's the activist music, there's a little bit of gospel in there. You know, like, it's everything that I am, and I'm so proud of it. I can't wait for it for all of it to come out. It was supposed to come out in September. However, now it's being pushed back a little bit because the UK, BBC Radio in the UK, Baby Was a Dancer went #1, and Broke a Sweat has broken the top 10. And so, you know, the music industry is a singles market these days anyway. So we're gonna take the end of the year to really strategize over in the UK and really go hard this fourth quarter. We're re-releasing Children. That was the first single over almost 2 years ago now. We're gonna re-release that with a feature on it now, you know, because now people are responding and understand that I'm really serious about it. Music is actually my first love. Yeah. The voice is actually the first thing that I was blessed with from on high. So I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it. So go to Spotify and listen to my new music or download it wherever. Just go get it. Go get it.
Thank you so much for stopping by Etalk. Congratulations on all your success. I'm so excited that the Bow brought you to our sofas here, and we continue to follow your amazing journey.
Thank you.
Like the video? Then hit the button, or better yet, drop us a comment. Then check out our latest videos here. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button here for more celebrity interviews and entertainment news.